So my name is Ethan Dunbar, and I am a dedicated Christian. I reside here in Louisville, and I am also an Army veteran. Uh, but I currently serve as the mayor here in Louisville. I'm a man of faith, and I am guided by a divinely rooted call to pursue justice and equality while living as a faithful Christian. My goal to serve my community is an extension of my faith. Through this campaign, I aim to inspire hope in humanity. I'm calling for a timeout. At this point, we need to take a timeout from our political ideology, from our political affiliations, a timeout to step back and examine not just what we're doing, but how we're doing it. And I think there's some room there. Jesus Christ and the Apostle Paul led by example, demonstrating what it means to recognize the humanity and the worth of all people. Their example helps me to feel and show a deep respect for others simply because they're human. Here in Arkansas, where roughly 97% of our farms are family-owned, we must protect our agricultural well-being. The economic impact of Arkansas farmers on our GDP accounts for about 8.5% of the state's GDP, and it creates numerous jobs. In these times of high inflation and wage instability, Arkansans must also be concerned with rising health care, rising inflation, and the fear and threats of removal from the health care safety net that affects our most vulnerable citizens. We must stop allowing our personal outrage politics to indiscriminately influence our actions toward the vulnerable and the hardworking citizens here in Arkansas. We're much, much better than this. The radical shift in the political discourse nationally directly affects policy and funding debates here in Arkansas. At the heart of these debates are our most vulnerable citizens and the Alice families that make up 43% of Arkansas households. I speak to you as an Arkansan. I've walked the back roads. I've listened to the quiet worries in small town cafes, and I've witnessed firsthand how our neighbors feel left behind, regardless of any political affiliation. In my 34-year Army career, I led soldiers in the toughest conditions, where unity and trust were not optional, but essential and instrumental in preserving life itself. My call to serve is rooted in faith and prayer. It's grounded in faith and prayer, seeking the Lord's wisdom in all of my decisions. I grew up here in Louisville, and this is my home. My spiritual gift is leadership. I live here in Arkansas, and I face the challenges that we experience in Arkansas every day. My wife is on the school board. We have a son in the public school system. So we understand this spiritual battle. We understand how our state's agricultural background and economic struggles affect these rural communities, our declining population. I recognize the times that we live in. And in this spiritual battle, I am moved by the Spirit to act. Moved by the Spirit to act, to use my gift to fight this moral decay in our politics. The politics that we so often look inward instead of outward. We look for personal ambition over serving our constituents. That's the way it's supposed to be. I firmly believe that safeguarding our democracy would be a challenge for our nation going forward. It appears as though political power is being sought for the benefit of a particular group or an individual, more self-serving, personal ambition. Our Declaration of Independence was specifically designed to avoid this and to oppose this. We must uphold these founding documents of this country to ensure that the rights guaranteed to every citizen are protected as our founders envisioned. every citizen. To achieve this, we must elect leaders who genuinely respect the opinions and views of those they serve. I believe our democracy depends heavily on the people that we elect. You look at our times now, we're living in a dark time. We can see good and evil playing out right in front of our eyes if we're listening, if we're looking, if we're paying attention. Our greatest human ability is our capacity to collaborate in large groups. Voting isn't just a duty, it's an act of hope. It's a demonstration of investment in each other. It's also a hard-earned right that we hold sacred in this country. Our leaders must represent the will and needs of all Arkansans. Our candidates must reflect the voices of their communities. And every Arkansan must believe that we are fighting for them. Every leader we elect must understand that the call to serve is not about themselves, but it's about the people that they represent. The gifts that we're blessed with are not for us. They're to edify and help others and to lift up our communities and create a better quality of life. Let's make sure, history will remember this moment. Let's make sure that we're on the right side of it, that we fight for the people that elect us to serve them. And let's not forget that we're elected to serve them, not to be self-serving and seek our own personal goals and ambitions. My name is Ethan Dunbar, and I'm seeking election to the United States Senate.